Good afternoon. My name is DMilner, and this is my Architecture 1101 final review project. To start off, here are 5 terms that impacted my design, creation, and completion of the bounding box, cladding, and wire hand. Starting with contrast, going into structure, form, hierarchy, and dominance. In order to begin the creation of the wire hand, 18 individual hand studies were done, with the 6 on the left being graphite and the 12 on the right being a combination of colored pencil and ink. While the graphite studies are more intricate and detailed, the ink studies show the dominant features of my hand. These dominant features derived from the first hand study allowed me to create my first wire hand iteration. Through the use of external light sources, I was able to create 2 hand iterations, drawn each with graphite that depict the contortions of the wire as well as the shadows. These illustrated hand studies were then translated into Illustrator, where I was able to overlay a set of regulating and guidelines in order to highlight aspects of my hand. In these images specifically, I was able to highlight the digits and their complexity. After observing my previous hand studies, I was then able to create a second iteration that conveyed the dexterity and movability of each digit. Building off my knowledge of the properties of the wire that I learned from the first iteration, I was able to then create a more proportional and structurally sound hand. With the construction of my hand complete, I was then able to begin with the construction of my bounding box. The image on the left is of my design notebook, where I started drafting joint designs and overall box designs. While brainstorming the construction of my box, I realized that structural integrity mattered to me most personally. I was able to create a series of interlocking notches that, when put together, created a strong and rigid form and structure. The images on the right depict my rhino joint studies, with the one on the top being 2 interlocking pieces that, when placed together, become flush and flat. The image on the bottom depicts a joint study from the bottom of my box, where gravity plays an integral role in the way the pieces connect. Using a conjunction of my joint designs and studies, I was able to create a final bounding box. Depicted on the left is an instruction booklet for the creation of my box, containing an image of the final product as well as a part list. My instructions start from the bottom of my box, where 2 pieces are laid on and then 2 more. This series is then repeated until the final box is created. While designing these instructions, I took gravity into account, so a limited amount of clamps are necessary. When it came time to design the cladding, I took into account the numerous Illustrator studies I had previously done that allowed me to frame a set of privileged views. Due to my emphasis on the structural integrity of the box itself, I was able to use the layers of wood to my advantage. The multiple layers of wood present in each face of my bounding box allowed me to create layers of vellum that in between captured light, and further allowed me to frame dominant views. These 2 images depict my box's ability to capture light, with each one showing a framed and dominant image of my hand. The layering of the frames created by the vellum, light, and shadows allow for my box to truly draw the viewer in. To further cement my box as an architectural creation, I've added a plan view that shows different sections of the box as well as their relation to the whole. This top view also depicts the moving element of my box, with the 2 sheets on the top that open to truly allow the hand to reach the outside world, along with the escaping of the light from within the box, which allows a distinct sense of hierarchy when it comes to viewing angles. The final aspect of this project was the sitting of the clad bounding box within a pedestal. This final pedestal design is situated within a 10 by 10 cube, and allows for the viewer's eyes to be drawn directly towards it and the bounding box itself. This allows for my bounding box and wire hand to truly shine, where images are projected upon each face inside the pedestal.